time for the Roundball Roundup Camdenton Laker basketball show from the Funky Buffalo. And now your hosts, William Holtz and Ron Dugan.
Welcome to the Roundball Roundup here at the Funky Buffalo, presented by Goodman Gravely Insurance in Laurie. I'm William Holtz, joined by my colorful co-host, Ron Dugan. Ron, good week at Camdenton basketball.
What a great start to the week. 2 wins this week, so we're off to a wonderful start. Look, it's going to be an exciting year. Yeah,
it definitely is. We'll get to talk about both what the men and women accomplished in a couple of tournaments, and then they got back home, and then Eldon hosted the Camdenton boys, and we were there. So it was an awesome week of basketball. We'll also have assistant head men's coach, Coach Sutton, on set, and then we also have Hunter Hood for our player spotlight, as well as we get to meet Billy Oberste, representing Goodman Gravely Insurance here on the set for our sponsor spotlight. All of that and obviously much, much more here from the Funky Buffalo, as Ron has plenty to talk about. Like he said, good start. We were at the game together. Women's game, what a game. We can't wait to talk about it. All of that and much more after this. Camdenton Laker fans, want to catch the latest highlights, updates, and analysis on your Lakers men's and women's basketball teams? You want to watch exclusive coaches and player interviews? Then tune in to Lake TV and join me and Ron Dugan for the Roundball Roundup every day at 12:30 and 6 p.m. for an action-packed 30 minutes of nothing but Lakers basketball. And if you can't catch the show on TV, just email me at the email address on your screen with a subject line of Roundball Roundup email list, and I'll personally email you the newest episode every Thursday afternoon.
It's time to accelerate. What's Accelerate, you ask? Oh, just the hottest new magazine to hit the Lake area, covering high school sports in Eldon, Osage, Versailles, Camdenton, and Lebanon, also covering health, wellness, fitness, and nutrition. With 4 seasonal issues every year, pick up the most recent issue at most local retailers or at all covered schools to get expert insight, pictures, feature articles, and much more. Also, download the Accelerate app on your smartphone to get up-to-the-minute scores. So if life is slowing you down, don't live another minute without your copy of Accelerate.
The Funky Buffalo Brew House and Trading Company is home to the Roundball Roundup Camdenton Lakers basketball show. And it's home to the Lake's best coffee, scones, and handcrafted sandwiches. Come see what all the talk is about and enjoy the beautiful, tucked away in the woods setting. While deciding from our irresistible lineup of drinks and treats, you'll also notice some of the most breathtaking art from local artists plastered all over our walls. The Funky Buffalo Brew House and Trading Company, taking pride in being much more than your normal coffee shop.
Back here on the Roundball Roundup, and it's now part of the show where Ron and I get a chance to talk a little bit about the men's side of the Lakers squad, and rough start down in the Marshall tournament, 1 and 2. Talk a little bit about that and why they went 1 and 2 at that tournament, Ron.
Well, starting off the season with a tournament like that, you're kind of getting your feet wet. You're putting a lot of guys together on the court that maybe haven't played together, and so it's just trying to feeling each other out. And, they had turnover issues. Basically that's what happened against Kirksville. They had 20 turnovers in the game, and that was really the difference in the game. If they limit those turnovers, then, they come out on top. They shot the ball really well, in fact, extremely well. But the turnovers what was their downfall. Next game, a similar kind of deal. They had a hard time scoring. And, this team is, if they're not shooting well from the outside, they're going to struggle a little bit with their size inside. But that was it. They just didn't shoot the ball very well, didn't score a lot of points, and came away with a second loss. But then they turned it around in the 7th place game there on Saturday. They came back. They shot the ball well. They took care of the ball and came out with a win. And it was a big win for them just to get that under the belt and get on down the road. And let's see now what they can do.
Yeah, and right after that win, they kept the momentum going. In the game last night, they went to Eldon to play a normally great Eldon Mustangs team, and they thrashed that team. They won by a final of 67-25. And Ron, you and I were talking before the show about you were so impressed with the defensive effort.
Oh, absolutely. And, anytime you hold a high school team under 30 points, you're doing something. And especially, with our size, we're starting 3 guys with 5'10", and they just did a tremendous job on defense and really just took Eldon out of any kind of game that they wanted to play.
One thing that happened last night was the Eldon crowd did a silent night, and what that was, they don't talk until they hit 10 points, and it took forever. Halfway through the second quarter, they finally did, and the place erupted. They were excited, they were loud, but that's about all Eldon fans had to be excited about the whole night. Camdenton shut them out. The mercy clock was running early in the fourth quarter, and that's a testament to these Lakers and their effort last night. You got an incredible effort from Dylan Decker. He dropped 16, points, and all of those were in the first half. He was on fire. And then Brady Kempf as well. He started the first quarter. He hit the first basket of the game, was a three-pointer, and then he ended the first quarter. He nailed a buzzer beater on a step-back three at the buzzer to end the first quarter and really give Camden momentum, and they never looked back. Ron, you didn't get to be there, but another kid that was really impressive, Hunter Glenn, handled the ball really well when Eldon tried to press. DeMarc was solid. Hunter Hood, obviously, big game with 11 points. Riley Shiver and Samoa even. I mean, they all contributed, and that's what you love about this team. We have so many guys that are very, very talented starting, but then off the bench as well. And that's what's going to give this team a chance. If they can overcome their lack of size, that's going to give them a chance to do some things this season.
Well, and they're a very unselfish ball club, and they don't care who leads the scoring each night. And we'll probably have a different leading scorer every night, and that's the kind of makeup of this team. And if they play like that all season long and limit their turnovers, they're going to win a lot of games. And they're going to be really exciting to watch. And we weren't sure what kind of a team they were going to be this year, but they're going to be pretty good.
They get their first home appearance Friday night at home against Elias. And that wraps up this segment of the show. We'll be right back on the Roundball Roundup.
Hi, I'm Lake TV's Ashley Kyle. Ever wonder who produces so many of the local television commercials you see here on Lake TV? We do. Lake TV's full-service video production department can create commercials like these that can drive potential customers to your store or business. Contact us today and see what Lake TV's commercial production department can do for your business.
In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes or if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them. Auto Owners Insurance.
Goodman Gravelly Insurance Source in Laurie is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
The Funky Buffalo Brew House and Trading Company is home to the Roundball Roundup Camdenton Lakers basketball show. And it's home to the Lake's best coffee, scones, and handcrafted sandwiches. Come see what all the talk is about and enjoy the beautiful, tucked-away-in-the-woods setting. While deciding from our irresistible lineup of drinks and treats, you'll also notice some of the most breathtaking art from local artists plastered all over our walls. The Funky Buffalo Brew House and Trading Company, taking pride in being much more than your normal coffee shop.
Lake area, you ask for more sports and Lake TV is delivering. Whether it's Mizzou Network segments, live Sporting Kansas City soccer, live Missouri State Bears basketball, live high school football, and even exclusive sports features and interviews, Lake TV Sports is gearing up to bring you more sports than ever. For all the latest with us on sports, follow Lake TV Sports on Twitter at Twitter handle Lake TV Sports.
Back here on the Roundball Roundup, and now Ron and I, we're going to talk a little bit about the women's side. Coach Caffey's squad, we got to talk to her last week, and that was after a tough loss in the opener to Republic. They kind of got beaten a bad way, and not that we were panicking, but you didn't expect to see that. Well, 1 week later, completely different story, and I would say even, culture around the women's basketball program. What's happened, Ron, the last week?
Well, first of all, Republic's got a great program, and they're a great team. But to get beat, that bad, it was really kind of an eye opener, and it may have been really good for the girls too, because they go down to Rogers, Arkansas, which is an Elite 8 tournament down there, and a real high quality tournament, and beat the host team by 3 in the first game, and you're thinking, oh, okay, maybe something good's going to happen here, and they turn around, they win the next 2 games, win the tournament, which is a very prestigious tournament down in Rogers, and so it was kind of like, girls kind of had an eye opener there, and hey, let's get back to work and play hard, and they're starting to turn it on already, and I know we're only 5 games into the season, but they're turning it on, so they're going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, they were able to get Rogers, who was the one you really worry about in that tournament. They beat him in the first round. They ended up beating Shalom Springs and then Ozark by an average score of 16.5 points over those next 2 games. So they didn't just beat their opponents. They really put them away. And, to hear that news and get to hear they won that tournament just kind of makes you excited. And you worry about coming home against a team like Skyline. A game Monday we were at together, almost worry about a letdown. Maybe getting blown out on your home court. Not the case. Skyline came out of the gate 5-0, and then you talked about Coach Caffey called the timeout, and what happens after that?
Well, you know, it was a great timeout. I mean, you know, obviously we were struggling a little bit. Skyline was doing whatever they wanted to do, and she kind of let them have it, you know, and got them thinking a little bit. Immediately they went on a 12-2 run. They're up 12-7. And, you know, it was just one of those great games, you know, back and forth. Skyline's the Final Four team of the last 3 years. You know, they are so talented and so deep, and they're running kids in and out, you know, that are quick and handle the ball and shoot the ball, and they've got hands everywhere. And I'll tell you what, you know, our girls did a great job. Skyline full court pressed the entire game, and, you know, you kind of saw what kind of shape our girls were in, too. And there was no letdown at all.
Yeah, they certainly handled the press. One that I was particularly impressed with, because you expect your guards to handle the press and be able to get you into the forecourt, you know, and be able to run the offense. But a player you don't always expect is your 5 or your post. And not that Sophie Shore is your average or typical post. She did an excellent job beating the press and double team. Because Skyline, what they do on the press is they use that out of bounds line, you know, as an extra defender, which as coaches you teach. And they were beating her to it. She'd cross over or would get it to another person. So I was really impressed with her. And you talked about Ripley.
Oh, what hands. I mean, that gal has got unbelievable hands. There were some long passes into the post and some really difficult angles, and she had people draped all over her. And I'm telling you what, her ability to catch that ball and turn and score was really impressive. I was blown away by her effort.
She finished with 22 points. Rez, of course, she had 13. Kendall Spraggan, she only had 2 points, but she made some big plays that won't show up in the scorebook. And then Sophie Shore, she had 8 points on the game. So the women's team now 4-1 on the season. Everyone very, very excited. And there's really, the sky is the limit for this program, and we cannot wait to see what this season has in store. So as for Ron and I, we're going to be back with our next segment after this on the Roundball Roundup.
Camdenton Laker fans, want to catch the latest highlights, updates, and analysis on your Lakers men's and women's basketball teams? You want to watch exclusive coaches and player interviews? Then tune in to Lake TV and join me and Ron Dugan for the Roundball Roundup every day at 12:30 and 6 p.m. for an action-packed 30 minutes of nothing but Lakers basketball. And if you can't catch the show on TV, just email me at the email address on your screen with a subject line of Roundball Roundup email list, and I'll personally email you the newest episode every Thursday afternoon.
Lake TV and LakeExpo.com are bringing the community closer together with the Lake of the Ozarks news update, keeping you up to date on recent developments and upcoming events. Watch it every weekday on Lake TV or on the web at mylaketv.com.
Back here on the Roundball Roundup Week 2 edition, and we are joined by assistant men's coach, Coach Sutton. Welcome to set. What's going on, man?
Not much. Thanks for having me.
Hey, pleasure. Before we get into talk about last night's big win and the early season, talk a little bit about you individually, where you played ball in high school and what your dream was, and then how you ended up here at Camdenton.
I'm from Fredericktown, Missouri, which is in southeast Missouri. Pretty uneventful basketball career, really. And as far as a dream, my dream was probably professional golf. Or
still
college golf? Not, yeah, I play a little bit, sure. Not as much as I would like to. And then that was, I mean, as far as athletically or as far as basketball goes, that was the end of my career. I did not play in college. Started coaching when I was in college, coached for 3 years while I was in college. And then it just kind of took off from there after I started teaching.
Where did you go to college at?
Education degree is from Southeast Missouri State.
Nice, the Red Hawks, correct?
Correct. Indians then, but Red Hawks now.
Cape Girardeau?
Correct.
Awesome. I always play Mizzou every year. So how long you been here at Camdenton?
This is my 8th year at Camdenton and 7th as a member of the basketball staff.
Talk a little bit about family life, little hobbies, what you like to do, and maybe a little bit about your family.
Really boring. My hobbies kind of mirror my job almost. I mean, I'm a sports junkie. Love Cardinals baseball just purely as a fan. Kentucky Wildcats basketball. Grew up, I spent the first 12 years of my life in Southern Illinois, so that's the Kentucky connection. I have an aunt and uncle and some cousins that live here at the lake, so it's an area where I have a lot of family around. We do a lot of the holidays here, Thanksgiving, Christmas, so it's nice being centered, don't have to travel as much. And then as far as hobbies outside of sports, I don't know if eating, is that a hobby? Can eating be a hobby? Yeah,
we make that a big hobby here at Lake TV. We love to eat. So you're not married, you don't have kids or anything?
Not married, never been married, no kids.
So ladies, he's single, just to let you know. He's available. I don't know if he's looking, but anyway.
And after all the exciting hobbies, I'm sure you're all jumping at the chance too, right?
No, very, very, very cool, Coach. So you're here at Camdenton, you get to coach the JV, and you get to help Coach O'Quinn out with the varsity. I got to be at the game last night, and I'll tell you what, perimeter defense is what stuck out with me in the big win over Eldon. You guys were active defensively. Touch on your kids' effort a little bit last night.
Sure. Just to clear one thing up, I'm not the JV coach. I just assist with both. Kirk Ritchie.
Oh, okay.
Kirk Ritchie is the JV coach. I didn't want to take anything from him, obviously. But yes, last night, I mean, we held Eldon to 27 points, defended as well as we have, or better than we have, in our 4 games this year, and I mean, that was a key. The defense, especially on the perimeter, created some turnovers, which lead to easy baskets. And easy baskets always get a good shooting team going a little bit. Shots start falling after that. You know, you see a layup or two go in. Perimeter shots generally follow. Most of the time when our shooters struggle shooting it, we tell them try to get an easy one, get in a rhythm. And that seemed to happen almost immediately last night. It was great to see.
And struggle shooting, you did not. Your guys were really hitting outside. It started with a 3-point basket by Brady outside. He ended up hitting one to end the first quarter as well, and everyone, I mean, Hunter was hitting, it seemed like, you know, and obviously big game for Dylan Decker with 16 points, but just, I mean, the wealth was all around. It was a good team effort last night.
Right, and that's really been indicative of our 4 games so far. I mean, I think we've had 3 different leading scorers in 4 games. We've got 4 guys that are somewhere between the 15 and the 9-point average right now, and it's great to see. I mean, we share the ball well. We've got 3 or 4 shooters that are capable of shooting it well, getting hot, getting on a roll, and that really helps things. And they like to share the basketball. I mean, I can remember one pass last night where I can't remember who threw the pass, but I do know Brady made the shot, and whoever threw the pass turned around and was running down the court as Brady's shot was in the air because they knew it was in, and I knew that's why they made the extra pass, because they knew it was in before he shot it. So it's fun to see. It's fun to see a group of kids play that way.
Yeah, that's what we like to call the swag factor, and your kids did not lack in that category. Last night, there's one instance where, Eldon did the silent night last night, and what that is, for those of you that don't know, they're silent, completely silent until they score their 10th point. Well, for Eldon fans, that took much longer than they might have anticipated, and it ended up being far deeper into the first quarter than they had liked. Second quarter now, the team says behind the scenes, and it ended up being well out of reach. It was 27-8 when they finally scored their 10th point, and they went nuts. Immediately after that, I heard the coaching staff tell them, go shut them up. Dylan Decker nails a 3 and then looks into their student section and says, come on. And I love that. I know you as coaches may not, but you love that swag factor. Your kids are confident, they're comfortable, and they love playing. And I, from my point of view, absolutely love that. I don't know if you as coaches do, but it was exciting to see your kids play with that, as I like to call, swag factor.
Yeah, I have to temper it a little bit, I think, because immediately my first reaction was, don't do that. But then, just like anything else, you don't try not to react immediately. It relaxed a little bit and thought he's a young man having fun on the basketball court, and he's doing an awful good job of what he's doing. So I'll let him have some fun. But yeah, we did take a little pride out of it. It was 4 minutes and 34 seconds in the second quarter when they scored the 10th point. So, to say that we were pretty satisfied with that effort would be an understatement. It was really neat.
Yeah, you talked about the scoring, but like you just touched on, it's a pride factor to limit them to 27 points. That's huge, Coach. Defense wins championships, and you can score a lot of points and still lose ball games, but if you limit your opponent to 27 points, you're going to win a lot of ball games.
I like our chances if we can do that.
So we got just a few seconds here, Coach. Talk to us a little bit about what your true expectations are for this group, because you guys are a little bit undersized in the post, and that could get you into some trouble. But you guys lack in size. You certainly make up for in heart and effort.
Sure. I think we'll have to do some things differently. We like to spread the floor, obviously, and try to take advantage of our shooters. But our shooters have to remember to try to get some easy ones every once in a while, too. We can't forget about trying to get to the rim, which in general leads to layups and free throws, the easy things, the easy scores. Those are the things that we have to remember to do. But, yeah, if we hold people to 27 points, I like our chances.
All right, so that's a wrap. Coach Paul Sutton, assistant head men's coach at Camdenton. Thanks for joining us, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
Of course, we'll be right back with our player spotlight, Hunter Hood, after this.
Soccer fans, Lake TV thanks you for tuning in to Lake TV this past MLS season to cheer your Sporting KC squad all the way to the playoffs. As exciting as it was to provide live Sporting KC soccer to you this season, we're even more excited to announce that we'll be bringing you live Sporting KC soccer in HD for the 2016 season. Stay tuned into Lake TV for season updates on Sporting KC. Lake TV congratulates Sporting KC for another U.S. Open Cup championship.
In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes or if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them. Auto Owners Insurance.
Goodman Gravelly Insurance Source in Laurie is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Back here on the Roundball Roundup, and this is our Week 2 Player Spotlight, and we're joined by senior standout Hunter Hood. Hunter, what's going on, man?
Oh, nothing, just coming to visit you.
Feeling pretty good after last night's big W?
Absolutely. It was very fun to play, and I'm glad we got to experience it. And got to keep going game by game and getting ready for Friday now.
Feels good after the Marshall tournament. Some good competition down there. You guys sneak away with one win. Come back home or come back to Eldon, your first game on the road officially outside the tournament, and you didn't just beat them, you really waxed that team on their own home court.
Mm-hmm. And it was very enjoyable. They were very pumped up from after that JV game. They were insane, and Coach said from the beginning, these first 4 minutes we've got to shut them down, and we have to show them that this isn't the JV game anymore. And so we came out, got on a nice run. Everyone was hitting fast. It was just a great environment. I loved it.
Awesome. So for those of you tuning into the show, our Player Spotlight gives the viewers an opportunity to get to know the players a little better as people off the court. So Hunter, give us a 45-second to a minute synopsis of who you are.
First off, I moved to Camdenton, Missouri 4 years ago, my freshman year. I moved here from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, which is southwest, about 39 miles south of Little Rock. I played basketball there. This is my 6th year of basketball. When I moved here, I was a little rough. I played AAU in Arkansas, and I was very fortunate to play for a pretty good team that helped develop my skills. And so then I moved here, brand new environment. I love it here, to be honest. It's a beautiful place. I started off my JV season as a freshman, and then I've played that for a few years, and now I'm getting on the varsity level. We've been pretty successful too. Last year we went 17-8. It was the second highest, most wins ever by Camdenton basketball for men's ever. And we were 1 away from 18, which would have been the record. And what makes me me is I'm just a little bit different than everybody. I'm pretty honest, and I love playing basketball and tennis and golf, and just a very athletic kid. And then I got to try in school and make sure, because athletes are more than just athletes. You have to be good in school and be a good example.
Yeah, definitely. People like to look at the athletes, and especially at Camdenton. If you play football or basketball for Camdenton, that's quite an honor, and kids do look up to you, so it's good that you noticed that. How about family and stuff like that?
I live with my mom, my stepdad. My mom, I've been with her my whole life, and then my stepdad is practically my real dad. He's been there since I was 6 years old, and I've grown really close to him. I'm an only child, but I do have a half brother that lives in Massachusetts, Albany, New York. He just moved. He just graduated from his bachelor's degree at UMass, and so I get to see him once every 2 years. But besides that, I'm really an only child.
Fantastic. Okay, so do you have a favorite NBA team?
Cleveland Cavaliers, because LeBron James is my idol. There's no question about it. I'm one of the biggest LeBron fans you'll see, and I can tell you just about anything about him.
So were you a Miami Heat fan a few years ago?
Yeah, I'm a traditional bandwagoner, as you can say. I follow that guy. He's amazing to watch.
Well, and rightfully so. A lot of people do follow LeBron. He's a great player, and then obviously great off the court as well. So I asked Bailey last week. I want to ask you, tell me your favorite food.
Oatmeal cream pies.
Really? Oatmeal cream pie?
With whole milk. I love whole milk. No, most people from Missouri don't like it. I don't like that.
You don't like the people here don't like whole milk?
They like 2%. I'm like, why? I like whole milk.
Well, we like to eat here. So talk to us. One other question. Favorite actor and then favorite movie.
I'm going to favor Bailey and say Will Ferrell. And my favorite movie is probably, that's hard. I'm going to go Anchorman. I laughed so hard on that movie. Anchorman 2. That's what I'm going to go with. Will Ferrell's in it, and he's an amazing actor.
He is funny. And one of my favorite is Steve Carell. He's one of my favorite actors.
Kevin Hart. He's growing on me, too.
Kevin Hart, good as well. They have some good movies together, Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell. Brilliant. Well, Hunter, we're out of time. We're going to wrap up the player spotlight. I thank you for coming on, and good luck the rest of the way. We're looking forward to getting to follow you guys.
Thank you very much.
Now you guys know Hunter Hood. This has been your player spotlight. We'll be right back on the Roundball Roundup.
It's time to accelerate. What's Accelerate, you ask? Oh, just the hottest new magazine to hit the Lake area, covering high school sports in Eldon, Osage, Versailles, Camdenton, and Lebanon, also covering health, wellness, fitness, and nutrition. With 4 seasonal issues every year, pick up the most recent issue at most local retailers or at all covered schools to get expert insight, pictures, feature articles, and much more. Also, download the Accelerate app on your smartphone to get up-to-the-minute scores. So if life is slowing you down, don't live another minute without your copy of Accelerate.
Back here on the Roundball Roundup, and our friends at Goodman Gravely Insurance sponsored the show. So our sponsor spotlight, we're joined by the woman who runs the Lori office, Miss Billy Oberste. Billy, you are an independent insurance agent, and you run the Lori location. Talk to us a little bit about that.
The Lori location, we have personal lines, we have business, we have about 100 different companies. We also have an office in Olathe, Kansas. We have a group of professionals, courteous people, and very knowledgeable that can help you with all your insurance needs.
All insurance, health, car, homeowners?
We can do everything, yes.
Fantastic. So your one-stop shop for all your insurance needs, Goodman Gravely Insurance, Lori, obviously the Overland or Olathe location as well. Billy, why did you guys decide to help out and sponsor Camdenton Laker basketball?
We always support the local school teams and the community. We love the lake area, and we're all about supporting the community.
It's a great thing, too, and you understand the importance of being around Camdenton basketball, because if you're from the lake, you know the prestige that hangs around Camdenton football and basketball and baseball and softball. So you guys saw the importance in that.
Yes, we did.
So how long have you been with Goodman and Gravely?
I've been in with Goodman Gravely for about 5 years, and I have 35 years in insurance experience. So.
And you love it. You absolutely love it.
I absolutely love it. I've been doing it since 1980, and so I really love it. Really love insurance. So.
That's awesome. Well, we certainly thank our friends at Goodman Gravely for sponsoring the show today. Don't forget, all your insurance needs, go give them a call. You got a phone number that we can give them to call you guys?
Yes, it's 573-374-0611, or you can stop by the office. You can go to our website for Goodman Gravely. We're also on Facebook. Please check us out.
Awesome, and we'll get that on the screen for you guys to see right there so you guys can get a better idea of exactly where you go to find them. Billy, we certainly appreciate you stopping by and making this show possible. Good luck to you guys, and thanks again.
Thanks, William.
In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes or if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent and the company.
And that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Roundball Roundup from the Funky Buffalo. We thank our sponsor, Goodman Gravely Insurance and Lori, for sponsoring this week's show.
Goodman
Ron and I encourage you
Insurance
to
and Lori
get to the
is
high
your
school
local
Friday night,
independent
December
auto owners
11th, as
insurance
the
agency.
Camdenton men's team
Lake
play host
TV
to
and
a very tough Elias
LakeExpo.com are
Crusader
bringing the
team.
community
And do
closer
not miss
together with
next
the
week's
Lake of the
edition
Ozarks
of the
news
show.
update, keeping
For Ron
you up
Dugan,
to date on
I'm
recent
William
developments
Holtz with Lake
and
TV
upcoming
Sports.
events.
We thank you for
Watch
watching.
it every weekday on Lake TV or on the web at mylaketv.com.
And that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Roundball Roundup from the Funky Buffalo. We thank our sponsor, Goodman Gravely Insurance and Lori, for sponsoring this week's show. Ron and I encourage you, get to the high school Friday night, December 11th, as the Camdenton men's team play host to a very tough Elias Crusader team. And do not miss next week's edition of the show. For Ron Dugan, I'm William Holtz with Lake TV Sports. We thank you for watching.
Lake TV Sports thanks you for watching this edition of Roundball Roundup from the Funky Buffalo. Watch for a brand new edition next Thursday at 12:30 on the Lake TV network.